Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. You're still awake from last night. What the fuck? Go to sleep, Ariel. Go to sleep. How you like that ratio flip, huh? I kind of feel bad because when it first was starting, I just thought it was a few chuds hanging around our community, but then it got bigger and bigger, and I was like, wait a minute. Went to 4chan, went to poll. I was like, oh, there it is. Okay, got it. I got, it kind of sucks. I guess their ratio attempt or whatever the fuck got me at first, because I think the idea was to make it seem like, because we've got like a really insular community here. Like, not necessarily that's what we want, but that's what we've got. We've got a community of people that have all been watching us for a while. We don't really get any help from YouTube getting in people's recommended shit, and so our pond is a little bit stagnant right now. And so we put this episode up, and I just thought, like, man, how is it after all these years there are fucking like 14, 15, 20 chuds hanging in my community still? But as that number kept going up, it was like, okay, something else is going on here. It was a stupid fucking poll raid. And one day, less than 24 hours after its premiere, the ratio is completely flipped. So their attempt to paint the show as a failure or whatever failed. We turned off the fucking live comments so that our mods weren't having to ban a billion different fucking 4chan spurgs, and that, nothing slipped by. Turned off the actual comments to the video just in case they decided to swing by, and try and leave some fucking nonsense there. And they really got nothing. They got nothing. They got an episode that has a like-dislike ratio that's above any other fucking video that we've done. And that's it. So that worked out well. And I'm definitely, I'll tell you what, dude, when I was sitting here like an hour, maybe like 30 minutes before the premiere, and I was watching people dislike it, and I was watching people in the fucking chat talk bigoted nonsense and shit. In that period of time where I thought, like, this is my community doing this. There are people in my community that are doing this. I was like, the dislikes are not from the DFF community. You can go look at my Twitter and see where they're from. I found the poll thread that sent people over and blah, 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 screenshotted it, the whole nine. But while I thought, in the early parts of this, while I thought it was people in my community, I was like, you know what? The next fucking 3 weeks of my output are going to be nothing but trans and gay rights. And, like, I was just like, I'll turn my whole fucking output on this show into queer acceptance until these people go. But, I'm definitely going to be doing more of these types of shows. You know what I mean? But that type of shit, like, you have to understand, like, those types of campaigns, right? Those types of campaigns are meant to make people feel like they shouldn't talk about these types of things, right? Like, their big win would have been for us to have, like, pulled that premiere down and not shown the video, because we were just like, oh my God, everybody hates it. Oh, that was their intent. Or, oh my God, it's such a platform for trans bullshit. Trans hate. Let's pull it down. No, you don't pull it down. You do it anyway. See, they don't know me. That's the problem, is that the Fortune people that found that video because it had the word trans in it, they don't know me. we go forward with it, and with a renewed sense of purpose. Every time I do one of these queer acceptance episodes, it's going to be with a renewed sense of purpose. So they did nothing but galvanize my desire to do more shows just like the show that premiered last night. So you guys will see more of that. If that was if that was their goal, mission accomplished. Because we're going to be hearing a lot more about trans people, lesbian people, gay people, non-binary people from the past, and their contributions to our now. Yeah, 4chan is just, a hive of scum and villainy. Those kind of people are trying to erase any kind of transness. Yeah, they're they're really trying to get people like us who make a video extolling the virtues of trans activism, trans rights, to be put off by the idea of doing it in the future. That really is the ultimate goal, is that, oh, look, somebody's doing a trans show. Let's go punish them. Let's go make sure that their show never does another trans show. Well, they accomplished the opposite. I'll be doing multiple episodes of the Trans Trailblazers show. I'm going to focus in on each part of the LGBTQIA rainbow that I can, kind of focus on. And we're going to find people that fit into those different categories and pushed the envelope either for gay rights or just in general, for human rights, for people, via scientific or philosophical contribution. You're going to see a lot of that out of me. So, because I think it's woefully undercovered. Send you a punk band fronted by a trans person, sure. Send it on. I'm trying to remember the name of the band. I used to be into this queercore band from the Bay Area. I'm trying to remember the name of their band. It's they have a song called "Don't Try Suicide." Dun dun dun. It's how's it go? They're really good anyway. I can't remember their fucking name. You know me and names. Should I call HR on my old boss because I was fired for making someone uncomfortable for being trans and hitting them up on a dating app? I didn't make any moves at work. Also, others date within the company. You got fired because on your own time you hit somebody that you worked with up on a dating app? Yeah. I would say complain to HR would be the first step. That's like lawsuit worthy. So if I were you, I'd consider talking to a fucking lawyer. Because if that's exactly what went down, you didn't do anything at work to justify being fired. You were fired simply because on your off time you hit up a fucking equal coworker of yours on a dating app, and there's already intra-company dating, and you were fired, and you're a trans person. Guess what? You've had your human rights violated. You've had your civil rights violated. Honestly, if that's the honest way that shit played out, I would really consider fucking going and talking to a lawyer about it. Make an HR complaint about it too, and make sure that that's on file with your lawyer. I just don't know what to do with myself. Bum bum. Bans on inter-office dating. Well, from what she's saying, there's already inter-office dating going on at the company that she was fired from. So, sounds to me like there's no trans dating at the place. Unfortunately, there aren't explicit rights for trans people federally, sure. But you still are covered under the blanket of non-discrimination. Yes, there is no explicit trans rights in the Bill of Rights, but you are still a human being and still covered. This rip is for you. Best of luck. Like, I'm not saying that, like, you know, that's the way it turns out, but I would talk to a lawyer, honestly. That story sounds really fucking sus on the side of your fucking company. So, I'd go talk to a lawyer. Keep everything you've got, too. Like, you know, any communications, your pink slip, all of that shit. You need all that paperwork. 95% of what a lawyer is going to do with you or do for you is collate paperwork. They're going to look at all of the written statements leading up to your firing, all of the interactions that you had with the person that you allegedly made uncomfortable, all of that. You need to have all of that available. Screenshots, fucking backups, links, anything you got. Because that's what wins cases is paperwork. People don't know that about lawyers. People think lawyers are fucking, you know, what is that? Not Ace Ventura. What's that guy? Ace something? Isn't there like an anime lawyer? Objection, that guy. People think that that's what lawyers are like. Yeah, Phoenix Wright. There you go. Yeah, Phoenix Wright, yeah. Ace Attorney. That's why I thought he was Ace. Right. Happened over a month ago, and I apologized directly to them and saved those. And in their message, I said I never want to make anything weird at work. I simply offered him to make a move if he wanted. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, especially if there's already like people at work dating and shit. You hit somebody up on a dating app. They weren't interested in you. That is not, you know what I mean? You didn't do anything wrong. Definitely shouldn't have been fired for that. But once again, I don't know the particulars of your case. And I'm not a fucking lawyer either. But I would go and, like, usually lawyers will give you a consultation for free. You can find lots of lawyers that'll consult with you for free. Sit down, look at your case, and let you know, like, all right, well, here's what I think I could do for you. Or, nah, there's nothing really I can do for you. You know what I mean? So I'd take everything you got, put it all together on a thumb drive or something, or whatever the fuck, and take that into a lawyer's office and hand it to him and say, here's all my shit. Here's what happened to me. Yeah, because that sounds like bullshit to me. Once they made it clear they weren't interested, I completely backed off, told them I respect that. See? Once again, like, as long as you've got the fucking proof of that, I don't know, it sounds like, anyway. I would go talk to a lawyer if I were you. See if you can find a lawyer that, you know what I mean, fucking specializes in workplace claims. or discrimination claims. Yeah. Shop it around, see what you get. Might have yourself a nice little lawsuit. And if you do, be loud about it in the community. You know what I mean? If you end up in a fucking lawsuit and you end up winning, be loud about that shit in the community. Let people know what the fuck is going on. Let people know this type of shit still happens to trans folk in this country. NDAs are oftentimes, like, an NDA does not cover criminal activity ever. So NDA, you can sign an NDA. There's no such thing as a legal NDA that covers criminal activity or covers discriminatory activity or whatever the fuck. An NDA is specifically for business arrangement purposes. So if you're under an NDA, you can't talk about how much money the company makes. You can't talk about the internal processes of the company. You can't go to another company. That's what an NDA is for. Protecting the internal workings of a company, business-wise, not holding on to all the dirty secrets of everybody that works at the company. That's not the way an NDA works. What's happening, Pamps? What are you, dude? A Wings of Redemption fan? Hey there, Pamps. Got myself a Wendy's chili. Did you ever consider gastric sleeve bypass? No. I'm not fat enough. I'll be straight up with you. Like, I'm a fat fuck, but I'm not fat enough for gastric bypass surgery. Like, I remember back in my late 20s, I went to talk to a doctor about it. It was about as big as I am now, maybe a little bigger. And the doctor was like, your BMI is nowhere near high enough for them to consider doing gastric bypass on you. I was like, okay. I'd have to weigh like 400 pounds at my height, like 6'1". I'd have to be about 400 pounds for them to be like, all right, gastric bypass, you know? And even then, it can be a tough surgery to get. But no, I'm not interested in getting that. I have to be like, yeah, 450 or whatever. They're doing the procedure on lighter people now, maybe. Yeah, I honestly haven't looked into it since I was in my late 20s, so. I mean, yeah, they really put you through the ringer when you get the surgery. Like, they want you to do a bunch of dieting and shit, because if you can do dieting and lose weight, then, you know, they don't want to give you the surgery. I don't care what you use as a fucking profile pic, dog. As long as you've got one. What is that? Is that a... I can't even tell what it is, bro. It looks like a Furby. This is ground control to Major Tom. Yeah, Boogie had to jump through a ton of hoops, and you saw how big Boogie was. Boogie was a planetoid, you know what I mean? Not to shit on the guy for his weight or whatever, but, like, look at Wings. Like, Wings of Redemption. Look how big he was. I'm not that big. You know what I mean? I don't have that much fat to deal with, and my weight is relatively stable. A lot of times what they want to look for is somebody that's like, you check in, At your doctor, you're 350 pounds, right? Then you check in next time, 2, 3 months later at your doctor, you're 370 pounds. Then you check in at your doctor, 6 months after that, and you're 400 pounds. So that's what they're wanting to look for. My weight is stable. Like I've reached a level of fat, and then my activity level and calorie intake maintains me at whatever this is. You know what I mean? Which is clearly not healthy, but I'm not every month slowly but surely working my way to 400 pounds. You know what I mean? So that's another thing they look for in people that or at least they did back when I was looking at it. Back when I was looking into the possibilities of getting the surgery, that was one of the criteria that they wanted to see, was that you not only were overweight, but that you were putting on weight, like you were getting worse. I just never have been. I always reach, like, for me, the heaviest I've ever been is 370 pounds, and that was back in, I want to say, like 2014, 2015, right around the time when just before I first joined DP. I was at my heaviest. About 200, maybe a little less than 270 pounds, 265 pounds or so was the heaviest I ever weighed at. And now I'm just under 300. So, you know what I mean? I've never gone any higher than that. And I'm going to tell you, dude, when I weighed fucking 360 some pounds, dude, I've never felt more unhealthy in my life. Well, that's another thing about it, Gorilla, is like, the surgery is only as good as your willingness to, because, like, look, what people don't understand is that the surgery only limits how much you eat if you limit how much you eat, right? Okay, so let me explain it to you. The one that's the most common for people to do is called gastric sleeve, right? And what they do is they take in a fat person, you got this giant stomach, right? This giant elastic stomach that obviously is constantly filled with food. They cut that stomach and make a tube out of it. They basically make a sleeve out of the stomach so that there's hardly any room for food in there, right? And they connect it to your esophagus, they connect it down there, and you've got this very small straight line where it's like food goes into your stomach, but you can only hold just a very little bit, and then it goes through, right? So that causes people to lose weight like crazy. You'll just drop weight, because, like, if you're a 500-pound person, you're used to eating fucking 3,000-4,000 calories a day, and now you can eat like 800 calories a day or 1,000 calories a day, and so you just. But what happens is as people go, at first it's very uncomfortable to eat. You'll only be able to eat like a spoonful or two of food, and then your stomach gives you that, like, impulse, like, oh my God, you're fucking full, right? But as you eat, slowly but surely, that gastric sleeve stretches out into a stomach again, a small one. That's the whole point of it, is that over time, the elasticity of that sleeve that you have bulges out a little bit, and you've got yourself a little stomach again. Well, what happens when you start filling that stomach over and over again to the very lip and top? All of a sudden, you went and spent thousands of dollars to get a gastric sleeve, and your stomach is just the same size as it was before. The whole thing blows back up again, and you get fat again. Wings of Redemption is a good example of this. He's a good example of a person that, quote unquote, beat the surgery, because he didn't give a fuck. He went down there and got cut on. Like, literally cut on in a horrible, like, invasive way, and went right back to fucking just as fat as he was before the surgery. Boogie's the same way. Boogie, cut on. Got literally fucking cut on. All his innards fucking rearranged and shit. Beat the surgery. That dude looks like a planetoid again. So no, I'm not getting the surgery. He did make that gun look tiny. I'm trying to like. Oh, Boogie. Chicken wings of redemption. Oh. He doesn't need a holster with folds that big. Yeah, he could just like lift up his belly and put it under there. And then be like, all right, man, all right, let me get my wallet. Reach up under the gut and like. You don't like Boogie? I really don't. No, I don't. I think that Boogie is a histrionic narcissist, I think is the term that I've seen that I think best describes Boogie. Yeah, no, but I don't like Boogie. I never have liked Boogie. I think that Boogie is like a sociopath who uses his young audience in order to bolster his non-existent self-esteem. I don't care what kind of fucking past Boogie had, dude. Anybody that's fucking 40, let me tell you guys something. Okay? Anybody that's 40 years old and still making excuses for their behavior based on something that happened in their past, you stay away from that person. You stay away from that person. If that person has fucking mind enough to know that they had something happen to them in their past, then they have mind enough to grow away from it. Like I'll sit here and talk to you guys about what happened to me in my fucking past, but when have you heard me say, "Oh, I'm a total fucking dick to this person because of something that happened in my past"? Like, when you guys ever heard me stand on something like that? Oh, it's okay that I was an asshole because I'm depressed. Why did your gaming stream abruptly end last night? There was hardly anybody watching it. I mean, I didn't mean to fuck off the people that were watching it, but you know, like me gaming, like people don't really care. Plus, I felt bad because I thought TJ was just doing a normal stream, but he's doing like a big. I went and smoked a cigarette and looked at his stream, and he was doing like a big stream thing, and I don't want to like run up against TJ. I'm not trying to compete with TJ or whatever. That doesn't make any sense. The theory of my research focuses on is about that. I call it mimetic victimhood. It's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even know. TJ needs to like. I'm gonna talk to TJ today and see if I can have him like throw me in the loop when he's streaming. Not just let me know so I can not, because I don't always check. I don't always remember to check. Well, yeah, like that would be fun. Like going live one time when TJ's live to stream battle him and put dildos in his face again would be fun. I may do that one of these days. But like in general, You know, we're coworkers and collaborators and stuff. And so, you know, if TJ's going to go live, just shoot out a message or something to me. Shoot me a quick text right before you go live saying, hey, Paul, I'm going live. You know what I mean? So I know not to do it myself. Woosah. I've been smoking pre-rolls for a while. Not to turn this into a weed versation, but just real quick as an aside, I've been smoking pre-rolls, which are usually made with shake. Not the greatest weed in the world, but I don't care. I ordered some top shelf weed. I got in the mood for like, let's get some top shelf weed. So I ordered several different little eighths of top shelf, and I'm not prepared, bro. TJ said he might multi-platform stream to Twitch. Cool. Yeah, I mean, tis what it is. Tis what it is. Guys, hold on. I got to check something. Okay, I got to check a... See? Told you. I told you I'd be back. And look at how many of you left. 130 people were here. And now there's 54 people. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. I am so disappointed in my Highdeology audience right now. I don't even know how to tell you, dude. I don't even know how to tell you. You guys ain't got a minute for me to fucking send a text real quick? To read a text and send it? I just had to read a text. I got a text. Why should they wait? I don't know. Because they were here before, and we're just going to keep doing what we were doing before. I took like a 5-second break. Imposters. Bastardos. There was 130 people. Unbelievable. Paciencia. Paciencia. Silencio. No hay banda. Il n'est pas d'orchestre. There is no band. There is no orchestra. It is all a tape. Anybody know? Anybody know? This is a tough one. What movie? No hay banda. Il n'est pas d'orchestre. There is no band. There is no orchestra. It is all a tape. You guys ain't gonna get this one. You guys ain't gonna get this one. Only the real ones are gonna get this one. Mulholland, yep. Mulholland Drive. My personal favorite David Lynch film. And that is Spanish and French. No hay banda is Spanish for there is no band. Il n'est pas d'orchestre is French for there is no orchestra. Silencio. Silencio. Watched your fungi episode. My friends and I found red amanita while on Lucy in the woods. Did them 2 days later. Fucking nuts. Oh my God, bro. That's some experimental shit, dude. You're talking about the fly agaric, or is that a different? Watching red amanita. Yeah, I've never heard of red amanita, dude. But that's cool. Fly, amanita, and agaric are the same. I see. Did not know they were the same. Got it. That's cool. Yeah, I bet they were fucking crazy. Yeah, fly, agaric, amanita are the Super Mario Brothers 1-up mushroom, or the Super Mario Brothers growth mushroom slash the, fucking Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory mushroom with the cream and the dots. Come with me, and you'll see. Would you agree to a Dune-like remake of Neverending Story? Like in that, like a more, serious kind of Neverending Story? Like a more gritty, grimdark Neverending Story? Maybe. I don't think they should touch it. They're gonna touch it, bro. They're gonna touch it, so we may as well get something good out of it, because they're gonna touch it. They're gonna touch the poop. They're gonna go back and do something they shouldn't do. They're gonna remake the fucking Goonies. They're gonna do it. Just a matter of goddamn time. So we may as well. Yeah, I'm really surprised they haven't remade Neverending Story already. I'm really surprised they haven't remade Goonies already. It's gonna happen, though. Don't put that out there. It's already out there, bro. There's already rumors. They're not gonna do a sequel, dude. They're gonna do a fucking reboot. They're gonna do a reboot. Like an all-girl reboot. That's what it's gonna be. Cyndi Lauper's gonna make a cameo. Old-fashioned superstition. What are these top shelf strains you picked up? Don't worry about it. I don't want to go into fucking weed mode. It could be done good. That's why I'm saying we have to fucking prep ourselves and go like, all right, maybe this could be okay. There's going to be a non-binary kid into. Who cares? As long as it's fucking good. That's all I care about. If the movie is good, that's all I care about. Okay? If they redo it and it's good, they recast it and it's fun, that's all I care about. I'm telling you, dude, what's his name that did Back to the Future is the only reason that hasn't been redone. As soon as he croaks, they'll get redone. Who the fuck is it? John. Who did the fucking Back to the Future movies? Who did it? Who directed Back to the Future? Why can't I remember? It's not Michael J. Fox. He was the main character. Zemeckis. Soon as Zemeckis croaks, it's all going. You know what else Zemeckis did? Forrest Gump. You think that ain't getting a remake? You better pray that Zemeckis holds on. Hold on to life, Zemeckis. Crispin Glover should be pissed that they used his face in 2. Do you guys know what they did to Crispin Glover? So, okay. Crispin Glover plays Marty McFly's dad in the original Back to the Future, right? He plays his dad as an old man in Marty's present, and then he plays his dad as a young man in the past when Marty goes back. Okay? They wanted Crispin Glover to come back for 2, but it was a much smaller part, a much smaller role. If you remember, Marty's dad in 2, or actually he wanted him to come back and be Marty McFly, I think, in 2, but as an old man. Old man Marty McFly or some shit. I can't even remember. It's a small part in 2, right? So they had his casting of his face for the makeup department. This is something that every star that's in a movie has of their face. They get a plaster cast of their face so that the makeup department can do concepts and shit prior to filming the film, right? Okay? So they took Crispin Glover's plaster cast from the original movie, Back to the Future 1, made a Crispin Glover mask out of it, and put it on another actor. Tell me that's not shitty. That's some shitty shit. They should have just recasted his fucking ass, right? No, they didn't. He didn't like the performance either, and people will ask him about it as if he was still in it to this day, so he feels like a bunch of people think he did a bad job in 2. Yeah. I mean, that's just one part of it. I remember him going on and bitching about it on shows and stuff and talking about legal action. Maybe there was a settlement. If there was a settlement, that's why we don't know about it, because those are usually under seal. So the public doesn't get to know. So it's possible that they settled out of court with Crispin Glover for an undisclosed amount. I'd sue for using my likeness, yeah. I mean, directly using it, too. They didn't just hire a dude that looked like Crispin Glover or make prosthetics from scratch to make somebody look like Crispin Glover. They literally took Crispin Glover's face from the first movie that they still had, the plaster cast of his face, and just made a Crispin Glover mask and had somebody do a Crispin Glover impersonation. They Mission Impossibled him, yeah. Imagine if someone just made a podcast with a realistic Paul mask and it was horrible. Yeah. Yeah, like say that the dudes decided to fucking butt me out of the business, right? And they just got like a fat guy to come on and do a Paul impersonation and call him Paul and just say he was me. You know what I mean? Like, think about that shit. Yeah, this is Paul. Put a fake beard on him and a wig, you know what I mean? Make his shooting environment look exactly like mine. Stevie would do it. Stevie's not fat enough, dude. Stevie's too thin to be Paul now. You ain't seen Stevie in a hot minute. Stevie's not fat anymore. Hi, Paul. I used to watch on the Drunken Peasants back in the day. Recently saw you talk to Vosh. Really enjoyed the conversation you both had. Well, if you used to watch me back in the day and you enjoyed me, check out my new show, Deep Fat Fried. I did a pretty bad job of pimping Deep Fat Fried on Vosh. I should have at least mentioned it towards the end. But yeah, if you're an old school fan, come check out my new show. Or hang out over here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Burn? Old-fashioned superstition. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Good enough for you, then it's good enough. For me, it's good enough. Good enough for me. Oh, ay, 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 ay. When you all die, we will digitally remake you guys and have an AI make new episodes. Cool. I do a little bit of writing on the side, but, well, I have to do a lot of writing for my job. But as far as like writing outside of for video stuff, I don't do a ton of writing. I've got a couple of little projects that are just kind of spinning their wheels. Got a autobiographical book that I've been working on for a while. It's probably not really, but it's been a while since I worked on it, to be honest with you. I've got a couple of like early treatments for scripts that I've typed up that really didn't go anywhere beyond the conceptual kind of broad story beats. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really self-critical of my writing in a way that I'm not with my extemporaneous speaking. Like I really feel like I'm better in this type of environment than I am in the written environment, but I think that's just a function of the fact that I just haven't spent a whole lot of my life doing it. I haven't been a writer, you know. I've done a lot of writing, but I haven't really tried to be a writer. Whoa. Bye. Yeah, I want to get a bong. I'm reaching an age where like smoking is pretty harsh. I read fast. What about concentrates? Not a fan. I mean, I like them, whatever, but I don't. That's not what I do. I don't do dabs. You're gonna get a little guy, or like a little mid-size guy, like a desktop bubbler type of thing is what I want. I don't want like a big fucking shotgun bong. I'll get one of those, like a big fat like 3-footer or some shit. If I ever move to my own place, like if I ever own my own place, I'll get a big fat bong. Yeah, maybe a beaker bong or something. I don't know. I just need to look at it and buy one. Paul, why do you sing? Is it because you're a theater kid? I've done it my whole life. My mom's got me on tape at 11 months old singing Jesus Loves Me, This I Know, For the Bible Tells Me So. So I've been singing my whole life. I like it. I like doing it. Like beaker bongs, but the spherical based ones are the best. Whatever. I wasn't looking for fucking input. Like, I'll find a bong. No worries. Yeah. I grew up religious. Not like fundamentalist or whatever, but my parents are both Christians. Was raised a Christian. Oh, yeah. Parents met at Liberty University, classmates with Jerry Falwell Jr. Well, my parents were not that religious. My parents were kind of lapsed evangelicals, I guess, when I was a kid. They taught us the Bible. They took us to church on holidays. Like, we would go to a Protestant church for like Easter or a Christmas dinner sometimes, or this, that, or the other thing, but they put you in Catholic school, which is not fun, except for those Catholic girls with the tiny little mustache. Catholic girls, do you know how they go? Catholic girls in the rectory basement. Father Riley's a fairy, but it don't bother Mary. Frank Zappa, dude. Gotta love him. Catholic girls at the CYO. Catholic girls, do you know how they go? Where are they now? Did they all take the vow? He named his children Dweezil, Ahmed, and Moon Unit. There you go. That's Frank Zappa's 3 kids. 2 boys, Dweezil and Ahmed, and a girl, Moon Unit. Straight up Moon Unit, yep. That's her name. Go look her up, Moon Unit Zappa. She's out there. Not a public figure, but I told you it's her name. I don't know why would I lie to you guys? Moon Unit Zappa, yep. Dweezil Zappa, Ahmed Zappa, and Moon Unit Zappa. Yeah, Moon. I would probably, if my name was Moon Unit, I would probably just tell people to call me Moon too. You know what I mean? I can't see where hair ends and beard begins. It doesn't. It's all one. Paul, I just had a conversation about feminists who hate any depiction of sexual exploitation. I had to explain that sexual exploitation is different from sexual empowerment. I wasn't involved in the conversation, so I really don't know how to comment on that. Like, I would have to hear their side and your side and, see what actually happens. So it's frustrating sometimes when you have conversations with people and you want to share the output of that. But it's impossible for you to not color the output of that conversation with your own bias. And so presenting your side to me doesn't help, Father O'Reilly's a fairy, but it don't bother Mary. Catholic girls. Now I got Zappa in my head. Dude, me and my friend Morgan lobbied my teacher for 3 years to try and let her get us, have her let us do a condensed version of Joe's Garage. We wanted to do the whole thing, and she was like, fucking no way. There is a mechanical pig with a hot curly weenie in this that has to come out on the stage. You cannot do this show. A man performs fellatio on a mechanical pig. You cannot do this show. And we were like, okay, what if we did like an overview, like you know what I mean? We did some of the songs from it, but we skipped the bad ones. No, because people are going to look into it and they're going to be like, what? You know what I mean? We tried. We lobbied. We also lobbied her to let us do fucking Sweeney Todd, but she wasn't going to have that either. She was like, it's about a dude that murders people. We're like, yeah, but they get in fights and stuff in Greece. People die in fights. Okay, that's different though. People get in fights in high school. People they'll slit each other's throats. Like, come on, Teach. Let us do Sweeney Todd. Morgan wanted me to do Sweeney. He wanted to do Toby. Dude, it would have been great. Would have been beautiful. Don't try and give me more. I tried to tell you, Nikki, that you cannot provide the context of an entire conversation. I just tried to explain that to you, and you're still trying to do it. So please stop. I cannot participate in that conversation with you as much as you may want me to. It already happened, and I can only hear your side of it. No worries. Hey, Paul, what do you use for research and to inform yourself? I use everything, the internet, right? So when I look for when I think of a topic, I go and find as many articles about that topic as I can, because what I've found is the more articles I find about a topic, the more discrepancy I find. And that usually leads me to something that's closer to the truth. There's so much misinformation on the fucking internet. So really my modus operandi when I make a video is to try and find as many different sources on a topic as possible and get as close to the truth as I can before I present it to you guys, because there's a lot of shit that just goes out completely wrong. Like, if I just went to the first article I found, dude, I'd be misinforming you guys constantly. So you have to, that's the hard part for me is when researching a topic, especially topics that don't have a ton of like mainstream work done on them. Any thoughts on all these white parents angry about critical race theory being taught in schools? I'm really like completely and utterly unaware of the drama behind it. And to be honest with you, probably couldn't even properly define critical race theory for you. So how do you find your articles? Google, Wikipedia sightings. Yeah, Wikipedia sightings are a good thing. I really honestly don't have a preferred outlet for articles. I don't. I pull articles from different places. I will often pull paragraphs from those articles and read them as part of my presentation of the topic to you. But I try and make a mishmash of information that I control the flow of, right? So I try and find the beginning, middle, and end of the story and find supporting facts and supporting images for those facts. So Wikipedia citations are a good jumping off point. How often do you find one article leaving out an important detail of an event? Not super, like if it's a super duper important event and a super important detail, it's not often that I find that. What I do find is little tiny differences in tone and presentation that make all the difference, right? The way the bias from which an article is written can have fundamental just the way that language is used within the article can have a fundamental effect on the way that we perceive it. And so I find a lot of that. But I'm super aware of that shit too. I'm super aware of this kind of psychologically manipulative language that's used by every writer. So I find more of that than anything. From the bits I've heard, sounds like critical race theory is just talking about racism and the ways it manifests. Right? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this is terminology that I'm not familiar with yet, and I've heard the term, but I don't know that I fully understand what it encompasses. So I really don't know how to, you know, weigh in on parents not wanting it taught in school and shit. Get out of here, flies. Shoot fly, don't bother me. You know what I need? Coffee. You guys wait here. I'm gonna go take a leak. I'm gonna go start a pot of coffee. I'll be right back. All right, I got coffee on the way. I'll tend the tale of Sweeney Todd. His face was pale and his eye was odd. He shaved the faces of gentlemen who never thereafter were heard of again. He trod a path that few have trod. Did Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. Swing your razor high, Sweeney, hold it to the sky. Freely flows the blood of those who moralize. Apparently they're pretty tasty, the pies Mrs. Lovitz puts out. Zappa also had a fourth kid named Diva Imucha Rodon. No joke. Cool. Thanks for answering my question, Paul. Sounds like dig deep, simple enough, and I'll keep it in mind. Yeah. Faux show. Thank you, by the way, non-binary neckbeard, for the $5. You don't like the ending to Sweeney, huh? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it doesn't wrap up in a nice, neat little bow for you. He lets the boy kill him because he realizes that he is holding back Joanna from ever being able to have happiness, that her connection to him would ruin her because of what he's done. Think about the show, man. He could leave Britain and she would forever be the daughter of a hideous fucking murderer who fled. There's a hole in the world with a great... How's it go? There's a hole in the world like a great black pit, and it's filled with people who are filled with shit, and the vermin of the world inhabit it, and it goes by the name of London. I too have seen the world in all its wonders, for the gates of Paris are as pretty as Peru, but there's no place like London. How do they slit throats live? They have a stage razor, which is a plastic blade painted with shiny chrome paint and polished to a mirror sheen. But the inside is hollow and filled with blood. And when Sweeney draws it across the throat, he presses a button which causes the blood to pump out as he draws it across the throat. Now, I've seen it done that way, and I've also seen it done very stylistically, which is really cool too. My favorite time that I ever saw Sweeney live was a stripped down performance of it that had no super involved props, really no set. It was done very stagey. And the guy would take his razor and he would palm a red handkerchief, like a really bright blood red handkerchief. And he would draw the razor across the guy's throat. And as he would do that, the other guy would reach up to like, you know what I mean? To like stop him and grab that handkerchief out of his hand. So as he drew the razor, it drew this red handkerchief out. You know what I mean? And it would billow at the end. So cool. So cool, right? So it was a very like complicated maneuver. Something about the Depp version of Sweeney Todd that you actually like. I like the casting of Beetle Bumford, but he's also a dude that actually played Beetle Bumford at a stage production. He just happens to also be a, and he's also the guy that played the fucking rat guy in Harry Potter. Really talented character actor and stage actor. I don't know what his name is. Yeah, Peter Pettigrew, right? Borat should not have been in the role of Pirelli at all. He just can't sing well enough. Timothy Spall, thank you. Yeah, you're probably the only one who does not like Harry Potter, bro. DAE not like Harry Potter? It's like, come on, bro. Harry Potter's pretty dope. My favorite PSH role. That's really tough, man. Really fucking hard. The one where I feel like I fell in love with Philip Seymour Hoffman was Boogie Nights. He plays Scotty in Boogie Nights, funnily enough. And that role is just so, I don't know, it's just so great. It's such a fucking memorable supporting role. He stands out so much in that movie. He feels so authentic. He's done so many amazing roles that picking a favorite almost feels like a disservice, but that's the one that made me fall in love with P.S. Hoffman's acting and just him in general. Hoffman could have played a fucking pretty dope Sweeney. The only thing about P.S. Hoffman that makes me think that he wouldn't make a very good Sweeney is that Sweeney is a big guy, physically imposing. He has to be. Like, he's supposed to be a very big, barrel-chested, kind of like tall, strong presence on the stage, just manhandle you kind of guy, right? And P.S. Hoffman was not that. Johnny Depp is not that, no. That's one of the reasons why the fucking Sweeney Todd movie sucks. One of the reasons why I hate it is because Johnny Depp looks like a fucking wood elf or something in the goddamn movie. It has nothing, it just doesn't look anything like Sweeney Todd is supposed to look. And it changes the whole nature of the fucking movie when Sweeney Todd is built like, about the same as fucking Mrs. Lovitz, you know what I mean? The whole reason that Mrs. Lovitz needs Sweeney Todd is to like fucking, you know what I mean, protect her. He's like having him upstairs is like free protection for her in a really dangerous neighborhood and shit. It's like a caretaker. Like, how is Johnny Depp gonna, you know what I mean? Johnny Depp looks like a stiff breeze could blow him over into the gutter. You know what I mean? It just doesn't fit. Like, if you read the source material, you read the play, Having a wispy, effeminate dude in that role, like nothing against it, but it just doesn't fit the role. It's not what the role calls for. Who would I cast as Sweeney Todd? Like, I honestly don't know. Um, I really don't know. There's not. It depends on like, can these dudes sing and shit? Because like singing, like finding a dude that fits the role physically is half the problem, and then finding a dude that can sing the role is the other half. You know, so like I would have to like audition actual theater actors and shit. There's really not. I've thought about this shit. There's really not a well-known fucking actor that I would put in that role. Why does it have to be a well-known actor? Like, why do we have to try and shoehorn some Hollywood celebrity into this? Let's find a theater person. Let's find an unknown and put them in this role. Like, what? You know, so many movies, especially like horror films, they come out and they don't have like a giant star-studded cast of recognizable people in them. I don't know that Jason Momoa can fucking sing. You have to be like just sub an opera singer to really do Sweeney Todd justice, which is another reason why I hate the movie version of Sweeney Todd, because the vocal performances are just subpar. Like community theater level vocal performances out of a fucking huge AAA budget movie. Makes no sense. I don't know why they didn't just have like an actual fucking singer come in and dub over these people who couldn't sing. Like, that to me is like such a no-brainer. It's like, okay, you're doing a movie now. So, okay, you want to make Johnny Depp into Sweeney Todd? Fine. Get somebody that can sing and dub the singing parts. You want to have Helena Bonham Carter be Mrs. Lovitz? Fine. Get somebody who can sing and dub over the singing parts, because neither of those two people can sing. Pardon the interruption, but did you ever attempt an impersonation of Slavoj Zizek? I get the feeling you could pull it off. No. Hello, D. What do you know, D? That's what they did in Rocky Horror. Rocky couldn't sing for shit, but he looked the part exactly. Exactly. They cast people that could sing in some of the roles, and the ones that couldn't got dubbed over. I really can't sing at the level that it would really do justice to a Sweeney Todd performance. What you heard me do earlier was basically me croaking out a facsimile of Sweeney Todd. You have to have a beautiful richness of tone. That means you can't be a fucking cigarette smoker. You can't be a pot smoker. The people that sing Sweeney Todd at the level that it's supposed to be sung at take super good care of their instrument. I don't, dude. I've got like natural, in my old age, I've developed like natural vocal fry. You can't have that shit. I've seen Sweeney live 3 times in 3 different like scales of production too. Yeah, I just don't have the fucking ability to do it. Unfortunate, but true. If I quit smoking and started vocal training and cleaned up my instrument a little bit, I could undo some of the damage I've done and probably get myself to a better level, but still not Sweeney Todd level. I've never been at that level. Even when I had like nice, fresh, virgin lungs, you know. Never was a Sweeney Todd guy. Still don't have that kind of tone and richness and range. I feel you, Joanna. I feel you. Do they think that walls can hide you? Even now I'm at your window. I am in the dark beside you, Joanna. You see? I don't have it, dude. Is what it is. That's the best I can do. Patter singing like Gilbert and Sullivan, I'd have to listen to it. Guten Morgen. OD. Come see me. Come get a little pet. Come get a belly rub. Come get a chin scratch. Come get a head pat. Come get a booty scratch. Come get a back rub. Come get a neck rub. Get another chest rub. Okay, now you can go. The dirty D. You want to go inside? Okay. Yeah, I'll let you inside. Hey. I gotta get coffee. I gotta grab my coffee. Get my coffee. 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 Green Acres is the place for me. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Forget Manhattan, just give me that countryside. Yeah, I have seen the Trump Green Acres. Oops, I fucking just banned the fucking goddamn peasant chef. How do I unban the goddamn fucking peasant chef? Sorry, peasant chef. That was accidental. That was a fat finger. That was total accident. A fat fingered a ban on your ass. Yeah, I need a dialing wand to do this. The chores, the stores, fresh air, Times Square. You are my wife. Goodbye, city life. Green Acres, we are there. No, they're going back and forth. They're saying, the chores, because he wants to go out, and she says the stores, because she doesn't. She wants to stay in Manhattan. Fresh air, Times Square, right? How drunk do you have to be to walk on stage of an acting play? What? Drunk? Dude, I don't fucking touch shit. I go straight sober onto stage. I don't even smoke weed before a show. I never have. I don't go into like a stage show stoned. Or drunk or anything. I go onto if I'm going in front of people on stage, I'm sober. And then after that, I can get stoned. Yakety yak, don't talk back. No. You ever have any difficulty with stage fright? And if so, has streaming helped it? I never had a problem with it. I mean, like, I get, like, everybody gets, like, nerves before you go in front of people or whatever, like, stage-wise, but I never had stage fright. Stage fright is, like, people that can't literally freeze up when there's, like, 3 or more people watching them intently or whatever. That's stage fright. I never had that. So, for me, like, doing this, the hump I had to get over was visualizing an audience, or at least mentally visualizing the number of people that are watching me and using the chat as a measure of their feedback. But I remember, like, when I went back to college in my early 20s, I took a communications class to fulfill a general ed credit. And that class, you had to give speeches. And I swear to God, everybody in that class but me was fucking terrified. I felt so bad for the people that were in that class, because I was just like, why are these people... Like, I understand there might be some people who are just have like an irrational fear of being on stage, and maybe that exposure puts them up there. But these people, like, I swear to God, the people in that class did not fit that bill. They didn't want to be up there. They were terrified. I went up there and I was totally fine. You know what I mean? I fucking aced that class so easy. I didn't even work. I remember, like, coming up with speeches off the top of my head about topics and shit. And the teacher going, bravo, great great prep. And I'm like, I didn't fucking prep. I didn't tell her that. But I just walked through that fucking class, and everybody else in that class fucking struggled. And I was just like, why are they here? Why are we putting people through this ringer, you know? And I feel the same way in a math class, you know? In the math classes I took, I felt like I was surrounded by people who totally knew what they were fucking doing. And I was just lost from the jump. And I'm just like, well, what do you think causes stage fright? Just probably like a fear of social rejection is what I would guess. Yeah, yeah. A fear of being judged by your peers, a fear of social ostracization, a fear of making a fool of yourself, etc. Right? Being made a fool in front of your peers. That's the fear, right? It's that people are going to laugh at you or think you're stupid or silly or scrutinize you or whatever. And, you know, there are varying degrees of this. I've seen some people in my chat say I'm on the spectrum. So it's like that really triggers this or that in me. I'm not on the spectrum, so I don't know that. So that's good information to take from people who do know that. You know what I mean? And I know that there are people who are probably not on the spectrum, or maybe even some people that are on the spectrum that could benefit from like exposure, like direct exposure to that sort of thing, because well, there are certain organizations that are built around it. There's an organization that I know of for sure. I've never been to one, but I had a friend that was involved in it for a while. It's called Toastmasters. And Toastmasters is a group of people who are trying to like just come together in a very friendly environment and get over their fear of like public speaking and shit. It's like about people getting up and giving speeches and stuff in front of a bunch of other people that are receptive and in the same boat as them, you know? And so a lot of people I know have taken stuff like that and overcome that fear. I've known people, I've worked with actors who, you know, early, like when I was coming up in high school, I saw actors that were almost paralyzed by that fear at the very beginning, right? As young incoming freshmen who, you know, over the course of the years that I watched them and they acted with me, became these absolutely amazing actors. I can remember a couple, I won't say their names, obviously, because these are real people. I remember a couple of people by name who were like kind of like wallflowers when they came into drama. And by the time I rotated out, they were the people coming up behind me and the crew of people that graduated with me to take over that role as like the strong leading people in the shows, you know. So it can definitely happen. It's just not a path I had to take, which, you know, probably gave me a leg up as an actor because I was never afraid. Being publicly ridiculed to me is just an opportunity to get one up better on the people ridiculing me. You know what I mean? I've never feared it. Hit me with your best shot, you know. But so that I think allowed me to go right to working on the other shit, whereas other people had to climb that fucking hill of fear. I also did what's called chef stage. You get in front of a few people, cook a recipe to demonstrate how it's done. Yeah. I can imagine that type of thing would be. See, I've never had to engage in that. Do you have any recommendations for starting drama? What do you mean? Like at what level? Like, surely you're not a high school freshman. So you're talking about like going into college, maybe? Just understand, like, I think the thing that helps me in class environments that I've been in, where I've taken theater classes, is realizing that everybody else is in the same goddamn fucking boat, right? So just go up there and do your fucking best. Everybody else is going to do the same or not, you know, but it ain't on you. You know, they all have to do the same shit or else leave the class, right? Or flunk out. So if you've got a monologue or whatever in front of people, you know what I mean? Just realize that I think that taking a community college class on drama might help. You know what I mean? Because it definitely puts you in a room where you're in the same boat with everybody. It's hard when you're on the spectrum because you're so used to being ostracized because of your different mannerisms. You become hyper vigilant. Yeah. I understand that for sure. And that's pretty common, even amongst people who aren't on the spectrum, that whole idea of hypervigilance on stage because you feel like you're being watched. The inability to, because really acting is about, there's kind of a paradox in acting because it's all about maintaining an awareness of the audience while forgetting that they're there. Really, in terms of your mannerisms, you want your mannerisms to be big and bold because they're there, so you can't forget them, but you don't want them to be mechanical. You don't want to think about them too much. You want to allow yourself to do little things as you speak because those sorts of things play well. I mean, you have to understand, like theater and acting, especially, it's not, you're not supposed to necessarily be natural. Everything has to be bigger. Everything has to be more boisterous and louder and has to be more in your face because it has to reach all the way to the back. So people have to see your face. They have to see your eyes on stage. They have to see your mannerisms on stage. Everything has to be, you know, if you gesticulate like I would to you guys just sitting here like this, you know, and then you go, nobody in the back is seeing that, right? And then we head on. You know, you have to. As a stage actor, you have to develop these big, boisterous mannerisms that are all kind of based on stuff that you would normally do anyway in a conversation. Anybody in a conversation probably does this type of shit. Using your hands to augment the things that you talk about is very human. On stage, you have to do that in a boisterous way or people don't see it. These little things that we do, they don't play. I burned myself. Well, see, it has to be over the top, but it can't look over the top. You burned yourself on a chef stage. That sucks, bro. Fly, I'm gonna fucking kill you, bro. I'm getting the salt gun today. Did I get him? No. I feel like King Kong. Fucking flies. I'm getting the salt gun, dude. The salt cannon is... I'm getting one. It's happening. I'm getting two. I want Amelia to have one out here, too, so when I'm not paying attention, she can fucking... There's two dead right there. I'm getting it. It's war out here. These motherfuckers will not leave me alone. Go. That's why I hate the summer. Dude, in the wintertime, there's nary a fucking fly to be seen around here. And then the fucking goddamn summertime comes, and here they are. Their putrid, disgusting, shit-laden life cycle is in my face every fucking day of the fucking summer, and they don't even know how much I hate them. I can't do it there because my fucking drink is there, you piece of shit. Nah, give me the dead of winter. Give me the dead of winter, because you know what? In the dead of winter, this fucking bunch of assholes and their ilk don't exist. Thankfully, no. I haven't seen any horse flies around here. These flies are dead. Doomed. Yuck it up now. I'm ordering the fucking salt cannons today. I don't even give a fuck. I'm getting a bunch of ammo too. It's going to be a pastime of mine. We're going to start the stream with some salt cannoning every goddamn day. Hold on. Let's clear out the audience. There's 4 dead flies right there. Motherfuckers. Let's be glad that birds are not as intrusive as insects. Yeah, no shit. These fucking flies, man. Please. They don't get the fucking hint. They won't take the hint. It's like there's a beast here that wants to kill you and you don't care. There's food literally everywhere. There's an entire world of food. I know there's dog shit right over there. But you're buzzing my face. There's dog shit right over there for you to just eat and lay your little fucking maggots in and everything. And you're over here buzzing in my face and landing on the lip of my fucking drinking glass over and over again. Like, what the fuck? Nasty fucks. Common fucking house flies. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, the problem is that I've got shit all over my desk. I've got a coffee cup here that they're landing next to, and I can't do the clap. They're landing on the lid of my fucking shit. You can't do the clap and knock over your fucking water and knock your coffee all over yourself. You know what I mean? Well, they're not getting any fucking variety. What are they eating over here? Dead skin cells off of me? Go. There's dog shit right over there. That's your favorite thing. Go take a little trip over there. Pulp guns. Oh, yeah, dude. Telekinesis would be great for flies. You could just be like, I'm looking at one right now. I could just be like, and it would just like, they wouldn't be able to escape it because they wouldn't be able to see it or sense it coming till it was already crushing them. All right, done. We need telekinesis so bad. Can we just do this shit? I know I talked about it with you guys before, but there is a video out there. This is, I believe, an Elon Musk funded project called Neuralink. You need to look into this shit. Okay, let me explain to you what happens in this Neuralink video for those that haven't fucking seen it. They took a chimp, right? Or like a, whatever he is. I think he's a chimp. And they put this Neuralink chip on his brain, right? And they sat him down and taught him to play Pong with a joystick, right? So the monkey learned how to play Pong. And the better he got at it, he got treats, right? When he won. That's how they trained him, right? So they trained him to play Pong. The Neuralink is in there, and it's monitoring his brain as it learns to do something, right? So eventually what they did was, they didn't, obviously the monkey's none the wiser, but they unplugged the joystick and turned on the Neuralink interface. And so the monkey was still doing the motions on the joystick, but the Pong slider was no longer reacting to what he was doing on the joystick. It was reacting to the intent. There's video of this. So the monkey is ostensibly playing Pong with his brain. So I want you guys to take that very simple, but very like mind-blowing achievement and blow it up into, like, be a futurist for a second and realize what this technology, once perfected, is going to do to human beings. Let's talk about that for a second, right? We're talking about having something implanted on your brain that can read your intent and being able to manipulate reality with it. That means combining things with drone technology. So if you want to go take a look outside your house, you could just, with intent, engage the drone that's on top of your house, watch a screen in front of you, and fly the drone with your mind around the top of your house. If you took it off the screen in front of you and put it in a VR interface, you could have a drone on top of your house and you could go and take a flight around your fucking neighborhood without ever leaving your chair. You want to extrapolate that out, think about this. You could pay a company to rent drone time in other places. So if you lived in a place like I live in and you've lived there your whole life, I've got a coffee here, baby.
Oh, sorry. It looked like that it might have still been.
No, it's okay. It's all good.
I'll just put it in the microwave.
I appreciate it though, baby. Thank you. I just made an extra big pot today, I guess. Yeah, think about that shit. You got a VR interface. You've got a Neuralink. You hook up your Neuralink to some server. You pay them $20 or whatever, and you can take control of a drone and watch Mardi Gras or watch Carnival. And you can pay $100 or $200 for unlimited drone time during Carnival, and you could jump in and out of fucking drones all over the city in different places of Carnival and witness up close with really high resolution fucking cameras something you'd never get to see in your life. You want to go to Niagara Falls? Boom, drone time, Neuralink. Control the drone with your mind, fly it over the falls, fly around the edge of the falls. Think about this shit. That's just one application of this. We're talking about that Neuralink thing that they put on the monkey's brain that let it play Pong with its mind.
Yeah, I remember.
Think about manipulating different things in your household with this. So you got a Neuralink, right? Unlock my door. You don't even have to say it. You just walk up to your house and your Neuralink is coded to your fucking door. Unlock my door. Think about this. You have a Neuralink, right? You're being invaded. Somebody fucking walks up to you as you're letting yourself into your house and goes, get in there. This is a robbery. You can Neuralink yourself to the fucking police. You can just be like, think, emergency, police. And your Neuralinked fucking smart home would alert the cops and turn on all your cameras so that the cops could see the situation inside your house. Give them access to your feed temporarily so that they could come in and take care of you and take care of the people who are trying to kill you and your family. Think about that shit. Unlock my door. Think it happens. Turn on my television. Think it happens. Watch this movie. Think it comes on. Listen to this song. Think it, and it plays throughout your house. Order my groceries. You have a preconceived list. All you got to do is think, order my groceries, confirm it. Make me think I watched this movie. Oh yeah, that's the next step, isn't it though? The next step is like literal Matrix shit, like being able to download knowledge and ability into your fucking head. So instead of read this book, conceptualize this work for me, please. You've just got a full conceptualization of Das Kapital in 15 seconds. You can quote it now. Think about that shit. Well, that's the idea, is that Neuralink could be a two-way interface eventually. Right now, it just reads brain activity and expresses that in the world via an interface, right? Musk hasn't done it. I mean, he funded it, right? So Elon Musk didn't invent the Neuralink. He just funded it. So that's cool. But, right now it's basically that. But think about the two-way link. Think about the Neuralink being able to stimulate different parts of your brain, give you a little hit of serotonin or dopamine or whatever it is your brain needs to balance you out in that moment. Monitoring your brain chemistry for signs of severe depression or anxiety and mitigating it before it happens. Of course, there are going to be ways to abuse this. Brain-to-brain communication becomes totally possible. Think about the internet and Neuralink. Think about DMing somebody or having a DM conversation that doesn't need a direct interface. You can Neuralink with that person, put on your fucking VR interface or whatever. Maybe even after it develops, you don't even have to. It just puts that person in your mind. You can give them access to the cameras that's in your room, and you can fucking fuck around or meet each other or whatever it is you want to do. Brain-to-brain sex, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you could fucking that meme from fucking Demolition Man could become a reality. You could hook up with somebody, stimulate yourself, or have something hooked up to you that stimulates you as it stimulates them, and have their brain chemistry be melded with yours so that you share a sexual experience. Think about that shit. Well, one would imagine that the Neuralink would be able to tell your brain chemistry and your brain waves and shit change when you're sleeping. So one would hope that the Neuralink would be designed to know that you're not ordering a fucking Ferrari when your brainwaves, your alpha brainwaves, show that you're in fucking REM sleep or whatever. You know what I mean? There would definitely have to be some new technology invented to suss out impulsive thought versus deliberate thought. But I have every fucking faith that it can be done with the right amount of study. We're talking about wetware here. Direct brain interfacing with computers. The implications are so far reaching, I can't even get into them all here. We're talking about freeing people from analog interaction completely with any kind of machine. That means, like, driverless cars, you can engage your car to go and park itself. Hey, honey, we've been here a while. You getting ready to leave? Yeah, I'm getting ready to take off. Summon the car. All right, car will be here in about 10 minutes. Let's go make our rounds and say Sarah goodbyes. All right, car's out front. We got to go, guys. Hop in the back. Home. Just think it. Off it goes. Think about this shit. The implications are fucking crazy. Like, over the top crazy. Instead of a driver's seat, it's a lounge inside of your can. What? Well, that's the thing, is like, you wouldn't be constantly exposed to your friends' thoughts. Nobody would design it that way. That would just drive people insane. It would have to be a mutual agreed connection. So you could bring your friends in and meet all your friends if they all wanted to come in, right? And so you could do that direct brain communication shit, possibly even represent yourself in a virtual reality environment, control the whole thing with your brain. So it's a facsimile of life. Hang out with your friends, right? But it would require, all parties to be consenting to the meeting, right? There's no way that like somebody could just design it to where your friends' thoughts would constantly be impinging on your thoughts. It doesn't make any sense. What if a friend died while linked? Who knows? I don't even know what the implication of linking two brains is in the first place, let alone somebody dying while under the influence of it. You know what I mean? With somebody else hooked up into them. I would imagine there'd be some kind of safety protocol that disconnected the other person so that.
Yeah. If it's connected to your brain, it could probably tell that you're dying.
Well, that's the thing, though. If you're sharing brain chemicals with a person and that person dies, the brain gives you that big DMT hit and starts to shut down.
Yeah, but I feel like the Neuralink would probably pick up the fucking signs of death throes before that.
Right.
You're tuned into all your emotions and shit. I think you can figure out, like, okay, this person's about to croak.
Yeah. Sever the connection. Yeah, I love that idea of being able to just remotely control a drone anywhere in the world. Like, let's say that you wanted to see the big Chinese New Year fireworks display in Beijing, which I've seen videos of, and it's fucking amazing. But say you wanted to experience it like you were there. Well, you just rent some fucking drone time, you hook up to it with your Neuralink, and you fly to maybe the drone automatically flies to a drone area, so you're not buzzing around people's heads and faces or crashing into people or whatever. And then you have limited control of the drone to reposition it vertically or horizontally within that fucking drone area. And you find a good spot and you just fucking watch and experience it like you're flying right there near it, you know? If you're worried about your house when you're away or whatever, you could have a little micro drone in your house or several of them that you could fucking just like put on a fucking portable VR interface. It hooks into your Neuralink, hooks into the fucking Starlink satellite system that Musk is hooking up. Boom, boom, establishes connection to that little drone in your house. Boom, up it comes. You've got full vision of your house. You can fly around, check on your pets, maybe even have a little speaker there. Hey, baby. Hey, Dee Dee. Hey, whatever. You know what I mean? Hey, pretty bird. How are you doing? Right? Let's come over here and I'll get you fed. And your Neuralink engages the automatic feeder. Let's check your water. Oh, your Neuralink drains out the water bowl and refills it with nice, fresh, clean water. Oh, everything looks good. You want to play fetch? You have like a little Neuralinked machine in there that'll throw the ball. You know, you spend a little 15 minutes with your dog while you're away. Let them know that you haven't forgotten about them. Get Neuralink into concerts. Neuralink to a big music festival. You know, pay a reduced price or whatever for full drone control over the 3-day fucking Lollapalooza festival or whatever the fuck. You've got a drone, or you can take control of several different drones from drone stations at Lollapalooza, watch any fucking concert you want, get within a reasonable distance of the stage so you're not obstructing other people's views, and get a cool bird's eye view of the whole fucking concert and the whole crowd and shit. Sounds pretty cool to me. If you take this out of, like, because right now we're thinking futuristically, but we're not thinking like futurists. We're thinking about, like, how will stuff that we already do be replaced by this? What about the ability to take control of another body with Neuralink? Set the ethics aside. What about the ability to create a human being with a body that has no will? And it's just kind of stored there. It doesn't suffer because it doesn't exist, because it has a positronic brain or whatever that's just waiting for somebody to Neuralink into it. Meat mechs, right? You Neuralink into the body, it wakes up, you shake it off, and now you're across the world. Proxies. Human beings that are created ethically without any fucking human needs, just kind of printed without normal brain structure, and then immediately, like a fucking surgical procedure is done to put a Neuralink interface where the brain should be. So this thing is completely and utterly has no will. You're not, like, creating something that's laying there suffering and wanting to be. It's just a piece of meat. It's laying in a fucking thing that stimulates its muscles and shit to keep atrophy from happening so that it's a worthwhile body, you know? And then when somebody jumps into it, they're in a proxy body. And they're in Australia now from wherever else. Could be a completely non-human body. It could be just like a really advanced mech, right? Who knows? The shadow knows. It's fucking amazing to think about. But what we're seeing right now, make no bones about it, if this type of...
Dinor, come here.
Damn, you really did chase that dude away.
They don't know you chase.
God damn, Dinor, maybe you are more fucking... Holy fuck. There was like somebody's German Shepherd walking around.
He's all the way the fuck over there, then.
Well, that's... I'm guessing he's like their pet, so it's probably good. Maybe that chased his ass home. But Dinor rolled up on that German Shepherd on the other side of the fence, and that German Shepherd literally tucked tail and ran as fast as it could. I've never seen anything like that in my fucking life. That German Shepherd was legit not having it. He was like, nope, tucked tail, and went and scooted his ass across that field.
I don't know, maybe he's not normally a dog that wanders and is good. Other dogs exist. In general, people need to be fucking better about their dogs around here.
Yep.
It's like, what, the 6th individual dog we've seen off its leash just wandering around the neighborhood.
Yep. One of the ills changed his name to T-Rex, dude. D-Rex. Dinor King. Dude, he just alphaed up. I can't even be mad at him for that one. He chatted it up. I thought that dog was just gonna look at him and keep walking like most of them do. That dog was not having it. He was like, "Fuck this, I'm out. I am not getting bit by that dog." Yeah, I mean, most people, like, people around here have very open yards and shit, and a lot of them, I feel like they just kind of like let their dog go out to poop. They're like, "Go out there and poop." Well, sometimes, like that one, they wander, and he ran right back to where he came from for sure. So D probably saved his life.
That's the downside to country living, is people are just like, meh.
I mean, a lot of them are. Some people aren't, but a lot of people are with their pets. And this road right here is like a kill zone for pets. Yeah. People just, you guys have heard people like, meow.
There's literally one stop sign in like a mile of this road.
Yeah, people just fucking fly. We have to be careful backing out of our fucking driveway because of it. Because people will just literally come flying around that corner. Like there's never any other cars. Well, it's more common with cats than dogs for sure.
Yeah. Well, like, especially if you like adopt a cat that was already a street cat, then it's really difficult to get them to just be an indoor cat after that.
Yep. My mom's got one of those. My mom kind of adopted a street cat named Bootsy, and saved her life. And so now Bootsy lives around my mom's house, but she will not be an inside cat. So she roams the neighborhood. She does what she wants. She probably got 3 or 4 little old ladies just like my mom feeding her everywhere. But, you know, cats are better equipped for that type of shit.
Yeah.
Cats kind of like adapted to the urban lifestyle as soon as the urban lifestyle was a thing. You know what I mean?
Cats are just more cautious in general.
Yep.
That's the best thing you can do for a street cat, is you get it to love you just enough that you can go get it snipped real quick and then...
Yeah, I mean, even that, though, is like...
Yeah.
It's a drop in the ocean sometimes.
Yeah.
But you do kind of help at least ensure that cat doesn't suffer its whole life. But good luck catching them.
That's why you get it to love you first. And then...
Yeah. See, that's the problem, though. Oh. Well, I gotta go. It's time for me to start gearing up for my day.